Hello everyone, this is Ron from High-Tech Legion, and this is the Xigmatek Elysium Super Tower case. And this is a very unique case. Unlike most of the full towers available in the market, the Xigmatek Elysium supports the HPTX form factor, such as the EVGA SR2 motherboard, and it also supports other form factors that are smaller than that. So it's very spacious inside. It also has plenty of features to offer, such as a hot swappable hard drive docking bay on top, USB 3.0 ports in the front panel, toolless installation for optical drives, a dual power supply mounting for top and bottom, 360mm and 420mm water cooling radiator support, also mountable from the top or the bottom, and other features. Now, I don't want to bore you by reading the features on the box, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with the unboxing. See, it is a very massive case, and it's also very heavy. And before I proceed with the unboxing, let me just show you that the Xigmatek Elysium comes in multiple varieties. Here on the side, you can see there's the silver and a black version. You can't see the black version in the bottom. And the silver or the black also comes in two other varieties, such as the windowed and the regular version. And we have the black and windowed version that we are going to open right now. In terms of dimensions, the Xigmatek Elysium is very overwhelming, standing tall at 24.33 inches or 61.8 centimeters, while it measures 26.10 inches long or 66.3 centimeters. So it should fit most of your necessary components inside. Now let's take a closer look at each of these features in greater detail. At the front, you have the Xigmatek logo right there in the middle, and there are actually a total of 12 5¼ inch drive bays, and the sides have these aluminum strips. This one is colored black because of the black theme, but the silver version will have a silver strip of aluminum right here on the front. You can also have the power and hard drive load LED, and the entire front panel is actually removable without removing any of the side panels. You just simply pull from the bottom and just simply take out. And let me demonstrate what the front bays look like. These covers, you can just remove each one, and then these have a filter on them, just a simple filter, nothing too fancy, to keep the cost of the Xigmatek Elysium down and affordable for most people. And see, once you remove that, expose 5¼ inch drive bays for installation and optical drive. Also, here you can see 220mm fans. Now this is to help with the intake, and also it blows directly into the 3.5 inch hard drive bays that are in there. It's built-in converter. I think you can install 4 hard drives in there for each one, and we'll take a closer look at that later once we open the case, because we can't take it out without removing the side panel. At the top of the front panel, you can find a power button, and the front panel connectors are actually nested in this area. You just simply slide it up to expose the external SATA connector, a pair of USB 2.0 connectors, a pair of USB 3.0 connectors, and jack for a microphone and your headphone, and the reset button. Also, you can find the hard drive docking bay on top that is built in. You can fit either your SSD, simply push down, pull out, or a full-size 3.5 inch hard drive. Depending on the version of the Xigmatek Elysium that you have received, you may or may not have a side window. This one is the windowed version, but both the non-windowed and windowed versions share the same feature of the side panel. It has a 200mm fan built in, and there's actually a mesh area right there, and there's also little slits at the top for airflow. Now the entire side panel, both left and right, can be removed by removing these thumb screws. So just to simply install items inside. Just unscrew any of the thumb screws and pull it out from the handle built in. The right side panel is quite bare except for the optional 120mm or 80mm fan mounting area behind the CPU. At the top you can see a dust cover, and you can actually remove this by simply sliding the locker here, found at the back of the hard drive docking bay. Just simply slide it to the left side panel and you can slide the entire top cover to the back and then pull out of place. And this, let me just show you what it looks like. There's actually a honeycomb mesh right there, and you can just remove that, and you can see that there's the mounting area for a radiator, and also you can install fans here. You can install a 140mm fan, a 120mm fan, or up to 3 of them, or you can install a pair of 200mm fans. Underneath the Xigmatek Elysium, since there are optional fans that you can mount underneath, there is a filter built in, and you can just simply remove it like that. It's just basically a little perforated sheet similar to the one found on the front, although a little bit thicker and a little bit more durable. Also, there are these, let me just move the camera and show the feet, and it's actually a solid plastic piece, but they have these feet right there. 3 pieces. The same thing with the front. You have 3 pieces of rubber in there to hold it in place. With the side panel removed, we can take a look at the internal components. And here you can see it is very spacious, but just so you can clearly see just how spacious it is, this is an HD 6990, the longest graphics card currently available in the market. And as you can see, I place it in there. There is more than enough space. There's actually about, I would say, 5 inches or 4 inches more space there. That will enough clearance for airflow, and it won't interfere with your drive at all. And inside you can see a white box here. It has the accessories, I'm guessing. And let's just open it up and take a look. Here are 4 casters. Because it is such a large case, and it's also quite heavy. You might have trouble moving it around. That's why there are these casters that help you with that. Also, it has a lock function. They're made of plastic, but it has a metal base. And 4 of these are in total. And see the other accessories in here. Let me just empty out the bag. And these little white things that are flying all over the place these are the cable ties. See, there are 4 included, and let me just take out the wheels and a bag of screws, and just open that up. You can see different types of screws that we can find. Now these are thumb screws, and oops, forget about that. And they appear to be hard drive screws. See, they only have the treads at the end, but they're flat on the top. And there's a whole bunch of these. Let me try a different kind of screw here. This is just a regular screw, small size, for installing all your components inside. And the user's manual. Let's see if it comes, it appears to be a fold-out manual, and see the type of items you can find inside. You have the 2 types of screw, and the casters, and the cable tie outlined there. It's basically a step-by-step guide in multiple languages of how to install different components. Also the warranty information on the far right. And let's take a look at the connectors inside. Let's put aside some of these accessories. And the fan in the back, there's actually a 140mm fan, and it has a 3-pin fan connector. And here are the front panel connectors routed at the back and sort of here at the bottom. See, we have the power LED, which is a 3-pin power LED, and the 2-pin power switch, hard drive LED, and where you see that is a reset switch, USB 2.0, USB 3.0. These are not the front panel headers, but they connect to the back of your motherboard. And there's the eSATA connector and front panel audio. And actually one more for SATA. One is for the eSATA, and one is for the hard drive docking bay on the top. And appears to be the red one is for hard drive docking bay, and this one is for the power that docking bay. You have a 4-pin Molex fan connector right there. And this is interesting. You can see that there are these. I will actually take a closer look. Let me just grab the camera and I can show what these neat little features are. This is the neat little feature that I wanted to show you. This is a 4-pin Molex to 5 times 3-pin fan connector adapter, and what it does, of course, is just simply need to plug in a single 4-pin Molex right there, and you can attach up to 5 fans into here, and all of them will be powered. If you notice, there is a 6th 3-pin fan connector here at the rear. All this does is actually it connects to another adapter located at the top. So there's actually 2 of these installed inside the case. So you can just plug in any fan here, any fan at the top, to a total of 10 fans powered by a 4-pin Molex. As we've already established, internally the Xigmatek Elysium supports the EVGA SR2 motherboard, and there's actually multiple mounting holes for different form factors as well, and each of them are labeled. For example, the HPTX has an M in it, and the HPTX has an H. And the motherboard stands already pre-installed for a regular ATX setup, and if you have an aftermarket heatsink, you can install it to the back through the backplate through this cutout right here, this generous size cutout. There's also an extra cutout right here, even if you have the EVGA SR2, so you can install the backplate through there. And there's also the routing cables. You can see that there's multiple areas at the bottom, and to the sides, and to the top. I've yet to find a case that has this much option when it comes to routing cables. And the grommet they use, see this, I'm just doing that to show you just how much grip the grommets are, because from previous experiences I've had cases that have rubber grommets for routing cables, but they are more annoying than helpful, because when you tug in a cable, they don't stay in place, they come off with the cable. So that's what I like about this one. The Xigmatek actually has these snugly fitting rubber grommets. And I showed you the 4-pin Molex to 5 3-pin fan connector adapters, but I didn't show you that you can actually move these around. You have 4 screws, and you can move that one on top here, you can move it there. That one on the bottom, you can also install it. Appears to have mounting holes for it down here. And there's also lots of cable routing holes that are that's here from the back. You can secure the cables that you route in the back with the fan cables provided. I'm going to demonstrate it later once it's done, and I think that pretty much covers the internal area. We're going to take a more in-depth look later on once we install our components in there and see what other options are available. And while we're here, actually, I forgot to show that there are expansion slots. Since it supports EVGA SR2, there are 10 PCI expansion slots, so that's more than enough for a quad SLI setup. And there's actually the here at the, let's see what else. Here you can install a radiator on top and the bottom, and it supports actually 360, as we saw in the box, 360mm or 420mm triple radiator, and it supports also 120 or 140mm fans. And even if you have a power supply installed here, you can install a radiator, a single 200mm fan, or a dual 120mm, or a dual 140mm fan at the bottom. So the same at the top. If you can actually install 320 millimeter and 340 millimeter, or 340 millimeter, or dual 200 millimeters in the top. But if you install a power supply here, you can still install a single 120 millimeter and 220 millimeter and 240 millimeter fans. So that's plenty of cooling options right there.